lost my mind. Hello everybody, we are back again. This is actually my second time today filming this very video, and this is also my second coffee of the day. Filmed literally this whole video, and then I was just like, actually I hate this video. I always plan out what videos I'm gonna do on what days, but I don't plan out what I'm gonna say. This happened to me with the Chestnut Springs video too. I filmed it and I was just like, I hate the way that I'm speaking because I don't know what to talk about first. And there was just so many parts of the video that I was just like, I hate how this is turning out. So we're refilming it. This should be fun. Hello everyone, welcome back to my booktube channel. Today's video is going to be, for the second time, my hockey romance collection / recs. Slight recommendations, because there will be books that I haven't gotten to yet, or I just haven't finished a series, like the series is ongoing. It'll be recommendations for the books that I have read and a collection video for the remainder, or just in general, a combination of both. What really sucks is that the way my room is facing, I don't get sun until like 4 p.m. Like the sun is borderline about to go down, and that's when the sun decides to start shining in my room. It's 4:45. I feel like the lighting actually looks good. The lighting will go in and out just because of Earth. But let's get into it. And I actually have an order in which I'm going to talk to you guys about these books. I'm going to give you guys a little bit about each book. I don't want this video to be an hour long, even though I literally recorded this video earlier and I spoke for an hour. So I'm going to try to keep everything brief. I want this to just be a collection, slight recommendations. Like a collection video with a side of recommendation. So first up, we're going to talk about Elle Kennedy, who I think is one of the fucking queens of hockey romance, sports romance, college romance. We're going to ignore the fact that Off Campus is out of order because I have two different versions of the books. Basically, the order is The Deal, then The Mistake, and then The Score, and then The Goal, and then The Legacy. This was my first sports romance series that I ever read, and I fell so in love with it. I think Elle Kennedy just does a really good job with writing college hockey romances. She does it unlike any other. The Deal, we all know, is one of my favorite books of all time. It follows Garrett and Hannah. It's about a deal. They strike up a deal with each other. Friends to lovers. It's fake dating. And it's perfect. This book is perfection. It is everything to me. Oh my god, wait. Actually, scratch this whole thing. First up, I like how I wrote down an order for me to do this video, and I still started off fucked up. First, I'm going to mention to you guys the books that I haven't read yet. The books that I have on my TBR that are hockey romance that I haven't gotten to yet, because that'll be a lot more brief because I won't have anything to talk about because I haven't read them. First up, we're going to talk about actually the Playing for Keeps series by Becca Mack. I haven't read it. There's 4 books. It's Consider Me, Play With Me, Unravel Me, and Fall With Me that are out, and then Breathe With Me is the 5th book. I don't know when it comes out. So convince me to read these books because I don't know. I don't know. We're not gonna talk about what I just read. This is what happens when you open up to a random page with zero context. Actually, let's do that again. That was fun. We're gonna open up to a random page and read a random sentence. My life feels like it's hanging on a delicate balance, swaying back and forth with my own indecision, my desires tipping the scale on one side and my fears on the other. Jesus, that was intense. Shit that I read before that was literally talking about having a foot fetish, and that's what I get. Fuck off. Okay, anyway, Becca Mack, Playing for Keeps. I haven't read it, so tell me to read it. Next up, we have the Undone series by Peyton Corinne. You guys may know from my wrap up for August that I actually DNF'd Unsteady. I just wasn't feeling it, but I am still gonna read Unloved, and then there's gonna be 2 more books after this one, Unbound, and then another one on something. I don't know. It hasn't been announced yet. We don't even have a title for it yet. But I am still going to try this book, even though I didn't like this one. But I still wanted to mention it because they are hockey romances, and I do have them. I do own them. And then we have The Rule Breaker by Stephanie Alves. This is the first book in the Colton U playbook series. I'm very excited to read this. I've seen so many things about her second book, which I believe is called The Playmaker. I'll put a picture of it. I believe it's called The Playmaker. It looks so fucking cute. These covers are adorable. So I have this book. When the second book comes out, I believe it's called The Playmaker. When that book comes out, I will be purchasing it. But I will hopefully read this book very soon because the next book comes out in October. So maybe like in the beginning of October, I'll read this one. The second book comes out, I think like October, I want to say October 10th, because I follow Stephanie Alves on Instagram, and she posts such cute stuff for like marketing in terms of The Playmaker. Oh my god, it's so cute. But anyway, I have the rule breaker and I'm very excited to read it, but I just haven't gotten to it yet. Okay, that's it. Now we can go time in. We can go back to El Kennedy. So yeah, the deal, Hannah and Garrett, they strike up a deal with each other, friends to lovers, fake dating. He's kind of like I don't want a girlfriend is not for me, blah, blah, blah. And then he meets her and he's just like, why did I not want a girlfriend again? This is actually great. Then we have the mistake. The mistake follows Garrett. No, it doesn't. The mistake follows John, Logan, and Grace. This book is a very short spanned second chance romance. They meet, they have a very quick, brief, but strong and spicy encounter. And then Logan fucks it up. And Grace is like, fuck you, actually. They go a few months without like speaking to each other, and Logan figures his shit out, and Grace kind of like grows more into herself. And then months later, Logan's like, I want a second chance and I want to win you back. And Grace makes him grovel. So it's basically like in school terms, it's the spring semester. Then they go the summer without speaking to each other. And during the fall semester is when Logan's like, I want a second chance. So it's not like they go years without speaking to each other, or they were friends, or they were together when they were kids and then they broke up and then now there's a second chance at whatever. It's not like that. It's not so like long. It's not such a long time span. But yeah, this book was cutie. Then we have the score. This is my second favorite. This follows Dean and Allie. And this is a friends with benefits, boy obsessed. One night stand leads to Dean being absolutely fucking obsessed with Allie. This book made me feel so many things though. It was so good. Then we have The Goal. The Goal follows John Tucker and Sabrina. And this book is very like reverse Grumpy Sunshine. I wouldn't even really say that Tucker's sunshine, but he's very sweet, very wholesome. He's like the one that's always taking care of the rest of the three guys, because it's called Off Campus. The four guys are on the hockey team at Breyer University, and they all live in an off-campus house together. And Tucker is kind of the one that like, he cooks dinner, he cleans up, he's got southern roots, so he's just like the caretaker for the rest of the off-campus guys. So he's very like sweet and wholesome. And then Sabrina, she's very much like to herself, independent baddie, studying to be a lawyer, head on straight, nothing's gonna distract her. They hook up and she gets pregnant. This book is accidental pregnancy, but it wasn't an accidental pregnancy that pissed me off. Tucker actually was always intrigued by Sabrina, because you see Sabrina mentioned in the score, especially because Dean hates her. Dean hates her fucking guts. So Tucker was always intrigued by her. He finally got a chance, and then now he got a kid. And then we have The Legacy. I hate this book. But basically the premise of it, I'll just tell you what it says on the back. 4 stories, 4 couples, 3 years of real life after graduation. A wedding, a proposal, an elopement, and a surprise pregnancy. Can you guess which couple is which? So this is supposed to be like an epilogue book for the 4 off-campus couples. The only couple that I liked was what she did for Logan and Grace. I hate what happened to Hannah and Garrett. I hate what happened to Dean and Allie, and I hate what happened to Tucker and Sabrina. The only story that I liked was Grace and Logan. So I hate this book. It did my people so dirty. I hated it. But whatever, it's still part of the series technically, so I talk about it very briefly. El Kennedy also has a spin-off to Off Campus, which is Briar U. I have not read Briar U. I don't even have them. I feel like I need to like hurry up and read Briar U before like the time passes and like El Kennedy books are like completely off my radar. But she has Briar U, which follows side characters that you meet in Off Campus. They're like other players that are also on the hockey team but aren't the 4 main guys. And then she has a spin-off to her spin-off series, which is Campus Diaries. It's just the Graham Effect, the Dixon Rule, and the Charlie Method. First up, we have the Graham Effect, which follows Gigi and Ryder. Gigi is Hannah and Garrett's daughter. I was so excited to hear about it. I was like, oh my god, we're getting second gen books. This felt to me like a series that was appropriate for second gen. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like some series that I feel like would be such good second gen series is a second gen series for Off Campus, a second gen series for Windy City. Oh my god, like I feel like those second gen series would be so fucking good. But this was the only second gen book in this series. We are gonna get more second gen books for the Off Campus guys. Regardless, we're talking about this. This is The Graham Effect. It follows Gigi and Ryder. Also takes place at Broward University. Gigi followed right in her father's footsteps. She's a hockey player. And then there's Ryder, who goes to their rival school. Ryder's school gets shut down. His school and his hockey team is forced to mesh with Broward University. So now Gigi and Ryder are like forced to like be in the same rink, yada yada. They also strike up a little deal with each other. I love this book. I want to reread it really badly because I just loved Ryder and Gigi's dynamic. Then we have The Dixon Rule. The Dixon Rule follows Diana and Shane. And this book is forced proximity. They're neighbors. It's also fake dating. It's a little bit of a I hate you to lovers. Diana does not like Shane for whatever reason, and Shane's just kind of like living his life. He also knows that Diana doesn't like him, so he kind of like pokes fun at her and like takes little jabs at her. That's The Dixon Rule. This book was okay. Wasn't my favorite. And then we have The Charlie Method. I haven't read this yet. I haven't read it yet, but it is, oh my God, my back hurts. Sorry. This book, I know it's a why choose. It follows Charlotte, Will, and Beckett. You meet Will and Beckett in the other two books. You hear a lot about them and their story in The Dixon Rule. And I was really excited for it, but for some reason when this book came around, I just heard a lot of thoughts about how it wasn't what people wanted. So I became a little apprehensive to reading it. I am gonna read it, but not right now. So yeah, that is Elle Kennedy. Like I said, I think Elle Kennedy is probably perfect for if you're starting. Actually, maybe I didn't say this. I don't remember saying it, but maybe I did. Elle Kennedy is perfect for beginner sports hockey romances if you're trying to find something to kind of dip your toes into sports romance or hockey romance in general. Elle Kennedy is perfect. Next up, we're going to talk about the Off the Ice series by Bel Cabra. I have both of them. There's only 2 books out right now. The 3rd book doesn't come out until November. Is it November? Maybe it's October. It's October. I don't remember when in October, but it comes out in October. The first book is Collide. The second book is Spiral. And the 3rd book is Revolve. I'm pretty sure there's going to be 4 books, but there's no sort of anything about a 4th book yet. But anyway, these are more hockey romances that I have. Collide follows Summer and Aiden, and Summer's studying to be a sports psychologist. She is tasked to study Aiden for a paper. This book is cute. These books are really short and like very bingeable. Then we have Spiral. This book follows Elias and Sage, and this book is fake dating. Something that I like about this series is that this book takes place when Aiden and Elias, they're besties. Aiden is the captain of the hockey team, but obviously, they're both on the team. This book takes place when these two MMCs are in college. And this book takes place after they've been drafted to the NHL. So, time is progressing in this universe. It's not just both of these books are taking place while these two characters are in college. Time is moving. Elias is kind of getting too much publicity because he's new in the NHL. And Sage is a struggling ballerina that's getting no recognition whatsoever. So they decide to fake date. Elias will help Sage gain more popularity. Sage will help Elias kind of get out of the spotlight so much because people will be like, oh, he has a girlfriend. People won't be talking about him as much. I'm not entirely sure what Revolve is about. I don't usually read the back of books at all, ever. I know it's about a figure skater and a hockey player. That's about it though. Speaking of hockey players and figure skaters, I have to mention this book because I feel like I just do. Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. I believe this is the only book in the series that really has anything to do with hockey. I have not read Daydream, but I know for a fact Wildfire has nothing to fucking do with hockey because I read it. It was okay, but it had nothing to do with hockey. But this one does. We have Anastasia and Nate. Nate is the captain of the hockey team. Hello? Bro, I swear the people upstairs from me are so fucking annoying. Nate, like I said, captain of the football team. Nope. Captain of the hockey team. And Anastasia is a figure skater. She and Nate are forced to train in the same rink when something happens to the hockey rink. So his team is forced to practice where the figure skaters practice. So it's forced proximity in that sense. And then also something happens to Anastasia's routine figure skating partner, and Nate steps in to help her. I don't know. I just remember this book was very spicy. I haven't read this book. I read this book maybe in like 20 2022, maybe 2023. No, 2022. I read this book a long time ago. I don't remember all that much about it, to be honest, but I had to mention it because it's part of my collection and I've read it. If you want to get in with the TikTok hype, then read this book, even though the hype is very much over for this book. This book was popular, what, 3 years ago? It's part of my collection, so I have to mention it. Next up, we have 2 books in one of my favorite series of all fucking time, Windy City by Liz Tomforty. The series itself is 5 books, but only 2 of the 5, the first and the last book, are hockey. The second book is basketball, and the third and fourth are baseball. But these 2 are hockey, and we're talking about hockey, so that's what matters. The first book is Mile High, and the 5th book is Rewind It Back. Mile High follows Xander's and Stevie, and it's forced proximity. Both Xander's and Rio, who Rewind It Back follows, are on the NHL team for Chicago. Stevie ends up being a flight attendant for Chicago's hockey team, so forced proximity. And then we have Rewind It Back. This book is a second chance romance. It follows Rio and Hallie, and you get a few past POV chapters from both Hallie and Rio's points of view from when they were kids and they first became friends and fell in love, and now it's 6 years later and they haven't spoken or seen each other in that amount of time, and they're getting a second chance. This book is definitely more focused on the romance than it is on the sports. It's second chance, but it's also forced proximity because they become neighbors, and he also hires Hallie to renovate his house because she is like an interior designer. This book was very cute. I love this book so much. I love this series so much. I may not have rated every single book 5 stars, but it is a 5-star series. It is a god tier series of mine. I love it so freaking much. Go read Windy City. We all know that Play Along. Play Along's my favorite. We all know that. Now we have Jacksonville Rays. This, to me, is probably one of the most underrated, not really talked about hockey romance series that I've ever read. I think it's because the first and the third book are Why Chooses. They're reverse harems, especially Pucking Around, because this book is the first book and it literally ropes you in with a girl and 3 guys. I think that's why a lot of people are just like, maybe that's not for me. But the romances are so fucking good. I don't understand how you could not like them. Emily Rath's reverse harems do such a good job of showing you that like you truly can't choose a guy for this one girl because they all work so perfectly for her, which is what a Why Choose is supposed to do. That's the whole point of it. Why choose when you could have all of them and all of them are good for her, and all of them are good for her. Sorry, my mom started freaking calling me. I'm filming. But yeah, let me talk to you guys about the series. This is Pucking Around. This is the first book. It follows Rachel, Caleb, Jake, and Ilmari. It's about Rachel's story with Jake, Rachel's story with Caleb, Rachel's story with Ilmari, and then also Caleb's story with Jake. Like it has everything. Like, oh my god, this book is so good. This book is 5 fucking stars. This book is 5 stars. I love this book so much. But anyway, Rachel becomes part of the medical staff for the Jacksonville Rays, Jacksonville's hockey team. And like every story is so perfect. Rachel and Jake have a one-night stand and they are like obsessed with each other, never forgot about each other. And then they meet again because she becomes the doctor, or she becomes part of the medical staff for the Jacksonville Rays. Caleb is the equipment manager for the Jacksonville Rays and was also tasked to pick up Rachel from the airport because she was getting hired by the team and he was told to go pick her up. So then you have their connection from when they first met. And then you have her story with Ilmari, who is going through something medically and is like refusing help. He's very to himself, grumpy, doesn't really speak to literally anyone. Rachel's just like, I don't fucking care. I'm gonna help you because before you seriously hurt yourself, I'm going to help you. So then you have their connection from her like not refusing to like give up on him. And then you have Jake and Caleb, their story, because they are best friends. Everybody knows that they're best friends. There's a phrase in here that like that there was like an acronym for Jake and Caleb. It was like domestic life partner. I think it was DLP. I think that's what it was, because everyone was just like, these two are basically married, but they're not. they're just like best friends, but really they've been in love with each other forever, especially Caleb. Caleb was so in love with Jake. Oh my god, I fucking love this book. Jake and Caleb were my favorite part of this book. And then we have Pucking Wild. Pucking Wild follows Tess, who is Rachel's best friend, and Ryan. They meet but have like a very strong connection from Rachel's wedding, and then they end up being roommates because they were both told by Ilmari from Pucking Around that they could stay in his house without the other one knowing. They didn't know, so they just ended up being roommates. This book was so good. These books are very spicy, I will tell you that much, which is another reason why I think people don't really love them as much, because super spicy books aren't for everybody, but it's so good I don't even fucking care. And then we have Pucking Sweet, which is the third book, and it is also a wide choose. It follows Poppy, Lucas, and Colton. Lucas and Colton are obviously on the hockey team, and then Poppy is their PR manager. Poppy and Colton have always liked each other, especially Colton. You can tell that he's very much liked her for years. And then Lucas and Colton are best friends. And Poppy and Colton's relationship is kind of like he's always getting into trouble. And obviously, since Poppy's the PR manager, she's having to like fix everything. So they have like a I hate you, but I don't hate you kind of relationship, especially with Poppy. Poppy's just like, you piss me off, you annoy me because I'm always having to clean up your messes. They're just so there for each other. Colton is so sweet. Lucas is kind of one of those people that's just like, I don't feel like I deserve love, so I'm gonna push people away. Both Colton and Poppy are just like, no, but especially Colton, he's just like, you're not gonna fucking do that to me. You're not gonna push me away. I don't care what the hell you say. I'm going to stay right here until I say otherwise. But yeah, I love these so much. This is a series I would reread. These books are not short, but I would reread this series because these books just make me so happy. They just make me so happy. I love them so much. And then we have the last book, Pucking Strong. Pucking Strong, I have not read yet. It just came out like a few weeks ago, and I have not gotten around to reading it yet because I'm like 99.9% sure this is the last book, and I'm not ready for the series to be over. But this book is about Teddy and Henrik. Teddy was a medical intern for the Rays like 6 years prior to when this story takes place. And now he's a full-blown doctor and blah, blah, blah. And him and Henrik get married accidentally somehow. I don't know how, but they get married, and I'm so excited to read this. But I don't want this series to be over, so I'm not ready. I want to read this so bad. Let's read a random sentence. We're not gonna read that. We're not gonna read that, actually. We have made it to the last series, guys. See, I like how this is turning out so much better. The last series we are going to talk about is one of my new favorite series that I've ever read in my life, DC Stars. DC fucking Stars by Chelsea Gupta. I love this series so much. As you guys know, I read Face Off in August, and then I binged the rest of what is out of this series within the last week and a half, 2 weeks. Power Play is on my TBR for September. I read it and I was like, I don't want to stop. So then I picked up Slapshot and I was like, and then I picked up a Hat Trick and I was like, okay, now I'm done with the series and what the fuck do I do with myself? Because Sin Bin, which is going to be the 5th book, does not come out until November. And then the last 2 books, Crosscheck and Weak Side, don't come out until next year. So as of right now, I'm done with DC Stars. But we have Face Off. Face Off is the first book. It follows Maverick and Emmy. And Emmy is the first woman in the NHL. She's the only woman on the DC Stars, and she's a fucking badass. She is Black Cat to Maverick's Golden Retriever energy. He's a reformed playboy. It's that kind of dynamic. It's also friends with benefits, and it's so good. Then we have Power Play. Power Play follows Piper and Liam, and Liam is the goalie. I forgot to mention Maverick is the captain of the DC Stars. Liam is the goalie, and Piper is the ringside reporter for the DC Stars. And she is newly divorced, yet inexperienced in, in the bedroom. she, for some reason, only feels really comfortable and only really trusts Liam, who is the grumpy, reserved goalie. So she asks him to help her. And of course he says yes because he's been in love with her for years. She doesn't know that, but he's been in love with her for years. So of course he says yes. This book is so grumpy sunshine and it's perfect. I love this book. This book also has a little accidental marriage plot thrown in there. Thinking about it one way, it makes no sense, but then thinking about it a different way, it kind of makes sense. I'll explain in my wrap up, but that's this one. And then we have Slapshot. Slapshot follows Hudson and Madeline. Madeline is a professional chef, worked in like Michelin star restaurants for her entire career. Well, not her entire career, but you know what I mean. And then she unfortunately loses her job and she becomes Hudson's private chef. And she's a single mom. Love this book. This book was a slow burn. It was more of a slow burn than the entire rest of the series. I don't think they didn't get together for like literally almost like 300 pages into the book, I don't think. But this book was so cute. This book was so wholesome. Hudson is literally perfection. He's so fucking sweet and so there for everyone. This team, they're like brothers. They say it. They say all the time, like, we're not just teammates, we're brothers, but it's so fucking true. DC Stars has some of the best found family I have ever read in my life. The best found family. All of these teammates care about each other like they are blood related. And I fucking live for it. I love all the romantic parts and the spicy parts of these books, but the parts that make me like genuinely so happy that I could tear up are the found family moments. Like, I just love found family more than anything. But last but not least, we have Hat Trick. Hat Trick follows Lexi and Riley. Lexi is the head athletic trainer for the DC Stars, and Riley is a defenseman who unfortunately, you read this in the beginning of the book and it also says it in the back, so it's not a spoiler, but he gets into a very terrible accident and has to get his right leg amputated. You can see it on the cover. He has a prosthetic for like 98% of the video of the book. Lexi is in charge of his rehabilitation to try to get him back on the ice and to playing hockey. But Riley's also had a crush on Lexi for years. You see it all throughout the entire series, like moments where like Lexi says something and Riley starts blushing, or like moments where the other characters catch Riley staring at her from across the room. Oh my god, Riley's been in love with her for years and I fucking live for it. I love this book. This was my only 5-star in the series so far. I loved Slapshot. I thought it was going to be 5 stars and I originally did rate it 5 stars, but then I thought more about it and I was like, it's really more of like a 4.5 because like I loved it, but I still have some complaints. This has been my only 5-star. I have 0 complaints about this book. It was absolute perfection. Lexi was everything. Riley was a little slut and I loved it. He was so fucking sweet though. He was so sweet and so thoughtful, and he was struggling so much and I just loved seeing his growth as a character. Oh my god, it was perfect. And I loved seeing Lexi too, like, step into this new like version of her. Oh my god, I loved them. I loved them so much. I love this book with everything in me. I want to reread this book already. That's it, you guys. Go read all of these series, all of these books, all of these series that I recommend. If you love hockey romance, if you've never read hockey romance and you want some insight, what is going on with the light right now? What are we doing? Go read these series. Go read these books. They're all so good and I love them all. And I will keep you guys updated, especially on my TikTok, because that's where I do pretty much everything, on the books that I'm reading in these series, like ones that I haven't finished yet. Like when I read Pucking Strong, when I read The Charlie Method, when I read Sin Bin. Guys, Sin Bin comes out November 4th. We don't even have a cover reveal yet. It's September. Chelsea Curto needs to get on it. I need a fucking cover for Sin Bin, because Sin Bin follows the coach of DC Stars and the sister of one of the players. So it's like, it's age gap, but like not the same age, but like he's like a little bit older than some of the players. The oldest players I think are Hudson and Maverick, and they're in their like early 30s. I'm pretty sure that the coach Brody Saunders, he's like 38, I think. And then Grant's book will be Crosscheck, his sister, which is crazy. But it's like, she's a figure skater, and then he's obviously the hockey coach, but he's also a single dad. He's a single dad and his little girl figure skates. fuck right off. I'm so excited for that book. I'm so excited for Sinbin. I'm so excited for the rest of DC Stars. I'm so excited for the rest of DC Stars. I'm so excited to see what else Liz Tomforty does when she moves from Chicago to California, because she set up so well in Rewind It Back for her future series. We also have Monty and Reese's story coming at some point. I'm so excited for that. But tell me to read Playing for Keeps. Tell me to read Playing for Keeps. But yeah, anyway, I've been yapping for too long. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you got some good recommendations, as well as just seeing the sheer amount of fucking hockey romance books that I own, because it's a lot. And that's not including like other sports romances. Like I have rugby, I have football, I have basketball, I have baseball, I have F1. I have so many other sports romance books. I also have dark hockey romance books, which I didn't mention at all, but I think I'll save that for like a dark romance guide. But anyway, I hope you have an amazing day or night or afternoon or whatever time of day it is where you are. For me, it's 5:30. Now I have to put all these books back. I love you all. Bye-bye.